Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the Daily Zamboni Talk. So, in today's episode, we're going to talk about something very important, which I've seen play out in many instances before. But, as always, before we get started, I'd just like to thank you all so much for tuning in. And if you haven't yet, I'd really appreciate it if you like and subscribe. And as always, any thoughts down below, positive, negative, or anything in between, I'd love to hear them. So, in today's Zamboni Talk, it's going to be a short one, kind of an abbreviated version of what I usually do. But it's going to be about how the more you expect the world to give you, the less you get, and the more you give equals the more you get. And I never really understood this until really a couple of years ago. The majority of my life, I never really understood what this meant. Truly understood what it meant. Because I looked at life in a lot of ways as a zero-sum game, right? Because I came from a very competitive athletic background where you either win or you lose, and if you win, then somebody else loses. And that's not necessarily how life exactly works out, and I don't believe it to be that way at all, and I haven't seen life work out that way. So what do I mean by that? I mean that you can accentuate your life and make your life better and make your life more abundant and receive more, and at the same time improve somebody else's life or give them value as well. And that is truly the way to get ahead, in my opinion, and to have that last. Because when you're providing others with value, particularly free value from experiences that you have, knowledge that you have, a certain expertise, you start to get a lot in return. That's kind of the way things work, right? And I've come to realize this, is that you start giving out information to people, whether it's free information or just some tips, all of a sudden they start coming back to you, and then it starts to become lucrative in a certain point. And that's just the way it works, because the more you give, if you're giving and not expecting anything in return, especially at the beginning when you're not an established maybe business or established service, that you will find that by providing that free value, you end up getting so much in return, it ends up coming back twofold. And I've also found this in many volunteering endeavors that I've done, is that I give my time for a noteworthy cause. And this is something I never really understood either. I said, why, when I was younger, why would I give time to something when I'm not getting paid directly? But you are getting paid directly in a sense, not in a monetary sense, but you are gaining experience and gaining relationships when you start to do things like this, when you start to give and not expect anything in return. And those relationships and that network and that experience is more important than a monetary value anyways. I've definitely come to realize that. So that's what I wanted to get across in this short video, is that give and provide value for others, and eventually it will come back, and it will be a net positive for sure at the end. So, and the other aspect to this whole subject is that by giving, you always feel good at the end of it. Like, I don't know many people in my life. I've never really met a person that volunteers their time and to a noteworthy cause and volunteers, gives people value and doesn't expect anything in return, and they're just a miserable person. I don't know many people like that exist. I'm sure there's some, but just by devoting yourself to something and to know that you're doing something and making somebody else's life better and improving their life and, like I said, providing value, it starts to really leave a lasting effect on you and just completes the total package of life. Thank you so much for watching.